Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We've got an interview with Taijuan Walker. He's a free agent and he tells us exactly how much he's going to get and where he'll be playing. Just joking. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. Trevor Plouffe coming here from California, and producer BBD in the corner. We just wrapped up an interview with free agent Taijuan Walker of Tai's Tacos, Mariners, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Blue Jays. Now, who knows? Talked about a little Traeger grill action, him and Trev doing cooking. Talked about Manny's and Petty's, his pitch mix, how he crushes Jason Castro, and some other stuff. Jake, what do you got on the chat the audience is about to hear?
James, Trev, Ty, who they're about to hear. It was good, man. It was good. I was pretty stoked. I got my one half nerdy, aloof Jake question that wasn't really a question out there, just because, like, this is a name who's been around for a while. They're like, this guy played when Trevor Plouffe played baseball. And he's, hitting free agency, 28 years old, big dude. We talk some analytic, I don't want to say analytic stuff, but some pitching and Rapsodo stuff that it's like, man, if this guy's figuring stuff out now and for a couple more years, like, he's going to have like a 12, 15-year major league career. And one of those big body starting pitchers you like, Trev.
I do, and you actually took the words right out of my mouth. When we were talking about, the Rapsodo, and I kind of questioned about, like, have you been using this? What have you found? He goes into it and says, like, he's just starting with this. And what we've seen across the league is guys get this tech, especially pitchers, and they can figure things out. And teams should take notice of that. And you have a guy here that's maybe not even fully polished yet. He's got the experience, but we can tweak things and do things, and we can get even more out of him. And I think that if people hear that and they know that, more and more teams will be after him because they know there's a lot more potential, even that he's already showcased. Like, he's been a good, reliable big league pitcher, and there's more in there, and I love that.
Yeah, and he talks about any young pitcher out there trying to hone their stuff. He talks about what made his cutter turn into more of a slider and more effective, and he shows it on screen if you go to YouTube. Pretty cool that, some coaches could have been trying to tell him that for so long, but it's just that one metaphor, that one thing that makes it clicks, and he kind of says, like, it was just this, the way he said it made it click. I always find that stuff super fascinating. I know him, Jake, because I picked him up when we were living at DBC House, I believe.
Ooh.
For fantasy. I think I picked him up for his debut, and he did pretty well.
Huge.
And then I kept going. But that was the same thing I told Trev the first time he ever, like, I always drafted Trevor Plouffe.
No, Trev was always one of the top 10 guys in the free agent pool. And it was if someone got hurt, you were like, okay, I'll try him for a week.
No, because later,
he's hot.
no. The utility stuff, like you could play a lot of different positions, was huge. But guys don't want to hear that, man, because, hey, I know you because I drafted you or I picked you up.
People want to hear that. People want to hear that.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, good.
Well, I did. I got Taijuan, and then I think his next couple starts weren't great, and I dropped him.
They don't want to hear that part.
They don't want to hear that part.
All right. Well, let's throw it straight to the interview. Today's interview is brought to you by another program on our network. It's JOMBOY and Jake Radio. I figure you guys, you sit here and you listen to me and Jake say enough dumb stuff surrounding baseball. Maybe you're interested in hearing us say even more dumb stuff surrounding our entire lives. Weird news. We do baseball trivia at the show all the time. It's every Wednesday on the JOMBOY and Jake TV YouTube channel or its own podcast feed, JOMBOY and Jake Radio. It's kind of an avenue for Jake and I to just really bullshit about dumb, silly things. We enjoy it. And maybe you will. If you didn't know it existed, now you do. Moving on. Interview free agent Taijuan Walker. Baseball!
We are joined by, we normally have one Cali High School Traeger grill enthusiast. We now have two Cali High School Traeger grill enthusiast, Taijuan Walker, maybe pitching for your favorite team soon. Ty, how you doing, man?
Doing good, really good.
Thanks for joining us. You just told us you're getting a mani-pedi today? You're there? Are you going to be getting one while we chat?
No, I already did. I just got back from it right now.
Okay. All right. I got taken once. I did not like the filing at all. I almost like a recoil. Like, ugh, so I can't do it anymore.
The best part is the massage. When you massage your ankles and your calves, that's the best part.
Oh, yeah. I live in Koreatown now. We went to get a massage the other day, and they just kicked my ass. Like, I had to ask. She was like this tiny Korean woman. At one point, she was kneeling on top of the table so she could put all of her weight on me, and I said, I don't like that.
You got to pay extra for that, I think.
They also demand you tip.
Yeah.
Which I was going to tip anyway, but it's like a big sign. Shame if you don't tip. Like a shame face. It was very crazy, but all right.
Enough about us.
I'm jealous. Jealous of the massages.
Trev, you ever get into the mani-pedi game?
Of course he does.
No, I actually have, and Olivia tries to get me to go all the time, but I do enjoy like keeping my nails groomed. I think that's like really important for people to do that. But I haven't stepped into the actual salon to do it yet, and I'm not opposed to it at all. I just haven't done it yet.
Hey, Taijuan, for pitchers, there's like a mani, like is it like you can't cut your nails, or is there a desired length for you? Do you use your fingernails when pitching at all?
Yeah, on my curveball, I throw a knuckle curve, so I try to keep my index finger like a certain length. Not too long, but not too short. It has to be like just perfect, or else it just feels off.
Man, so if you cut it too deep, that's like can change the whole game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would hurt, but I'm just gonna push through it.
Man,
Do you do like the hardener? I know some guys do the hardeners on the nails. Are you doing that for that pitch?
Okay. Well, we'll talk a little baseball, I guess. How you ended up, we're Yankees fans at our heart. Trevor likes bringing that up. So we got a nice dose of you this year. You came over to the Baby Jays, and the one game, the first time we got to see you, nobody could touch you, which was a little you, a little us, because I think there's, what was it, like 4-1, couple walks, couple punchies.
Yeah. That was a weird game. I feel like there was runners on second and third every inning, and I'm like, I got lucky. I got that one. I got lucky on that one.
You got very unlucky in the next game because you had a certain someone who I hope bought you a steak dinner or something the night of, or at least like walked past you post game with his head down and said, "Sorry, man," because that was brutal.
I mean, it's baseball. Those things happen. It's part of the game.
That was
Wait, what happened? What am I missing here?
An outfielder had a tough day at the office.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah, that does happen.
That happens.
That does happen.
You've been that guy.
That's nice of you, Ty, to just say, it is baseball, it happens, because I mean, we all know how it feels to be out there and having guys make errors behind you. And you, as me, a guy that made some errors in his career, it's nice for the pitcher to say that afterwards. Like, hey, it's just baseball. It is how it is. So that's nice of you.
I mean, honestly, I feel like when I was younger, I would get mad and be like, what the heck? But being older, I kind of realized, okay, those are going to happen. Now I feel like then it's my job to pick them up, and try to get out of that inning for them and stuff like that.
It's funny because like position players will make an error and they just like, dang, I feel so bad. I don't want the pitcher to go through that. But then if a pitcher's on the mound and you guys are like walking everybody, I'm sitting there over like, can you just throw strikes? Like, come on. So it goes both ways. But in the end, what I tell people all the time is every single person on that field is trying the best that they can, dude. Nobody wants to go out there and make an error or walk the house. Like, we're all really trying. It's our job at the end of the day. And it's good to have that mindset. Competitive, but understand that errors and walks are going to happen.
Plus, they're throwing all those balls outside the zone because they don't want it to be hit to you, Trev, when you're making errors out there.
Yeah.
So it's always the fielder's fault.
How was the Buffalo experience this year? I mean, it was, just from the outside world. I mean, you joined midway, And by that time, I guess they're kind of settled into Buffalo, and they were having a good time. We had Grichuk on, who has been a Yankee terror for years now.
Yeah.
How was that? How was joining the squad? Was Buffalo feeling weird, or did you enjoy it, or what was going on?
That was cool. I mean, obviously, when I first got traded, I was like, man, I got to go, AAA Stadium again. It's been a while. But I got there, and they did an unbelievable job of they basically the whole entire concourse, clubhouse, everything was like our home visit, like our home clubhouse. So it was sick. Clubhouse were big, like big lockers. The only knock there was the bathroom was terrible. All bathroom. I mean, the showers are crap. No hot water. It'd be really hot one time, and a second later, it'd be really cold. It was just the bathroom was bad. Everything else was literally. I mean, it couldn't be any better, honestly.
That's brutal. How about the signs? I know that there was a lot of talk that it was really hard to see the catcher signs. No, not that bad.
I'm not trying to hear all that.
No, all right.
That
was just the Yankees making excuses
Being
again.
soft.
Yeah,
soft.
It's not that bad. And plus, you can put the white little fingernail tape or whatever. You got a bunch of options.
Reflective tape.
Do you think the ideal male build is someone kind of like Alejandro Kirk? Because that's kind of what I've got going on right now. And I'm 5'8", built like a box truck.
Jake's not 5'8".
When people think about catchers, he's the ideal catcher build. If you're going to build a catcher at MLB The Show, you would build him.
He was awesome, man.
Yeah, he's really good stud, good hitter. I didn't realize how young he was, too. And I'm like, damn, this dude, is comfortable and just breaks.
He's going to be a problem for us for a little while. We had Odorizzi, Jake Odorizzi, free agent right now, on a couple weeks back, and we kind of asked him about his free agency and how he was feeling, and he was enjoying it for the most part. He's like, yeah, I've a couple teams talking to me. I feel confident in myself, feeling good. How's your free agency experience going so far?
Yeah, it's going really good. Last year was a little different. I was non-tendered last year, and going to free agency as non-tender with only one inning under my belt in 2 years. So that was definitely different. I had to go out there and showcase and, throw for teams and show that I was healthy and whatnot. But this year, I feel like I had a pretty good season and set myself up pretty well to have a good offseason and get a lot of calls, and I feel good where I'm at.
Have the Mariners called you again? Because you got drafted by them, they traded you, then they signed you, then they traded you. I think it might just be part of their planning now. Let's sign him, and then we'll trade him to a contender halfway through again.
Well, this time around, I got traded. It was nice. They got a little bit of heads up. I kind of knew, going into the season, if I was to go back, that there was probably 99% chance I was going to get traded midway through. And so I was already prepared for it. But Jerry was awesome, and it was, and the owner, Mr. Stan, called and just thanked me for everything. So it was a good, it was good parting ways. The last time they traded me was the night before Thanksgiving when I was about to go out to a club and have a good time with my family. So
they couldn't wait till after Thanksgiving.
I know, right? You wait 2 days.
Yeah, man.
I got designated on my birthday, Ty, so don't feel too bad.
That's rough, too.
The A's were like, see you later. I'm like, dude, you guys know it's my birthday? And they didn't care at all.
They didn't know.
I got a question about the offseason, though. I got your baseball reference page up. Listed, speaking of Jake and body types, you're listed 6'4", 235. Question one, is that an accurate description?
It's inaccurate, yeah. That was from 6 years ago. I would say I'm 6'5", but I'm 250. I've been 250
6'5", 250.
For the last 3 or 4 years. I've been 250, yeah.
Is that where you want to be? I know, so in my off seasons, when I was younger, I just wanted to gain weight and get really strong, and then kind of towards the end, I felt like I needed a little bit more flexibility, lose some weight, all that. Where are you at with your training and your off seasons? Are you still kind of lifting heavy, or is it more of a mobility thing to get you, through the second half of your career?
A little bit of both. I feel like so far we've just really been focusing on the pitching movements, stuff that I can do to help my pitching moves, get my lower half into it more. I feel like I use a lot of upper body, and I've lifted heavy for basically my whole career. And I'm like, okay, the strength is already there. I just got to maintain it now. But I really want to work on getting my hips to fire a little bit faster and mobility, just, stuff that's going to help me pitch and save my arm, for the rest of my career.
6'5", 250, Jake. 6'5", 250. That's what you build on MLB The Show. That's what you build right there.
Yeah, you build that. I build the 5'7" catcher that scrambles his way through life.
Looks like the little league coach sitting on a bucket, just catching balls behind the plate.
On the side from a dugout.
Yeah,
just a wall, What I mentioned that size, and I mentioned being built like a wall. We'll get away from the baseball a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about Ty's Tacos? Because now I get whenever we talk tacos or any like burritos or something, Trev gets mad at me. This Cali side comes out of him. He's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. What's going on with Ty's Tacos, and how do I get some now?
You can't get them now, but hopefully in spring training,
Okay.
The taco truck. I just grew up eat tacos, once a week. My mom always used to make them and stuff, and kind of just turned to a thing, give away free tacos at spring training games, and people love that. But I was kind of like a one-trick pony, but now after I got the Traeger, I can do it all. Basically, I can do it all.
I love it.
So we have a history of a Traeger here, because Trev, I believe it was with Dahl. He was talking about his Traeger, and then Trev, what you said that if you use a Traeger, you cannot call yourself a master grillsman, and then you came back like a month later and said you're using your Traeger and you love it. Is that the whole history of you and Traegers?
I just said I've seen some dudes with their Traeger, and they're saying they're a pit master.
Okay.
You're not a pit master if you're using a Traeger. Okay, it's a very user friendly, very easy on the Traeger. Then I got one, and my suspicions were correct. I mean, I still really like cooking over a wood fire, like stoking the fire myself. But the Traeger is great for chicken, for pork. I'm not a big red meat on the Traeger kind of guy, unless you're doing something really low and slow, like a brisket or something like that. Is that all you use, Ty? Do you use any other types of grills or conventional grill?
I have a gas grill outside right next to it too. But the Traeger is so easy. If you can season anything right, then use the Traeger. But yeah, I only use it for like briskets and my chicken. Usually if I cook steak, it's on the grill.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. And the Traeger is an amazingly well manufactured. They were giving them ad right now. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's really nice. I mean, it is like built to last, but it doesn't cook everything that I want to cook, So that's my only qualms with Traeger. Don't be getting me in a fight with Traeger, you guys. I have a good relationship with them. Let's get back to Ty, okay?
What's the go-to meal right now, Ty? If it's Sunday night and you have guests over and you're cooking your number one, what's your ace meal?
Ooh, man. I don't even know. Honestly, it could be anything. I'm not gonna lie. It could really be anything.
All right.
Steak, maybe. I guess I can make a good steak. Some vegan mashed potatoes. I do mushrooms on the grill pretty well, some asparagus.
I like that.
I follow you on IG, so I get to see all your cooking. You do a good job. I think I've seen you do a steak before. It came out really nice. I asked you what you were drinking with it. A little bit of bourbon on the side. So you know what you're doing, man. I like seeing your stuff.
Yeah. Turned into a little hobby, a little cooking hobby, cooking and some good wines and bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
We get notes from Kelsey. I think it's from Kelsey. And she says here, you play video games against your wife, who is definitely better than you. Now, is that her words or your words?
Okay. Before we had baby number one, we used to play all the time together. And she was good. She might be better than me. I'm not going to say yes or no to that, but she was good. And then, we had a baby, so she hasn't been playing as much and stuff.
How did the trash talk work when you were playing against each other? Because I know Jake here, he used to play a video game just to go to a dark place and shit talk people and get in fights with 14-year-olds on the internet. Now, were you guys reserved with your trash talking, or is it all open?
Nah, we're married.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
What do you guys normally play? Are you playing 2K? COD? Okay. Oh, really? So have you been playing the new one?
It's all right. I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay.
It's just different. I play Warzone all the time, but the new one is whatever.
My buddies are trying to rope me into the zombies, and I just can't do it, man. Like, they're like pretty good, and that turns into a 2.5-hour commitment real quick. And it's like, I can't, yeah, I can't just be doing that. Well, I can, but cuts into my sleep pretty good. Yeah.
I looked into your pitch mix. That's what I like looking into that. I'm fascinated about when guys change their stuff. And you're coming off injury, but last year your fastball usage went way down, four seam, at least according to stats. You correct me if they're wrong. And the cutter went up. Was that due to injury and shortened season type stuff, or is that accurate? And two, is that a game plan before the season started, implemented by you or by a pitching coach, or how did that happen? If it's true.
So they keep calling it a cutter, but this year I feel like it was more of a true slider.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to work on it. I've been trying to throw a slider for like the last 4 years. It's been a cutter. But finally, using the Rapsodo and, having all the new technology now, I was able to like get more depth on it. So I use it a lot more. I learned that one this year. I learned, the knuckle curve was new this year. And then I threw a two-seam fastball this year too that I threw quite a bit. But that was just all using the Rapsodo. And, coming into this year, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to sign with the Mariners, kind of no pressure, go out there, was able to work on stuff and just work on the pitches I want to work on, and then end up pitching well. So I got traded and had to kind of scratch that and go into like go mode, I guess, for the Blue Jays.
I want to ask him about the Rapsodo. Like you get that, it's this new piece of technology. Was there anything like eye-opening when you first started using it? Like, oh man, like my spin's great here, or my spin's inefficient on this pitch, or, what did it change for you using it? Because I know a lot of guys, like it could change your career.
Yeah, I think just knowing what you're looking at, having someone explain it to you. I always they would have it out like, oh, this is doing this number, that's good. I'm like, but you're not really telling me,
yes,
what it means. And my pitching coach, Woody for the Mariners, he was kind of telling me about my slider. It's almost like you have a gun of the barrel pointing, and he said when you throw your slider, you want it pointing towards the catcher or just off to their right shoulder. And I didn't know that. And so when I was throwing my cutter, it was pointing to the left shoulder. So that's why we get that cut action. And I was like, okay. And so I just kind of made a little adjustment, and my mentally was okay, hey, get that gun of the barrel pointing towards the catcher or just off, to the right of him. And so I was like, okay. And just knowing that helped so much to get more depth on my slider,
So that's really just
you
to get
the
your
release
fingers
point a little bit.
Just a little bit, because I was like right here for a cutter, and it just kind of stayed there. But the slider, it was just a little bit more, just so I can get that barrel of that ball, just like pointing towards the catcher more.
I love that. That's awesome, dude.
It was sick. Yeah, I was never into the stuff, and then now I'm like, it's dope. Like, especially when you have people explain it to you the right way, and like what to look for and stuff.
Yes.
And your numbers on those two pitches, like the expected numbers and the results on the four seam and the cutter last season, were both really good. 156 batting average, 151 batting average against both together. And all the expected numbers say that wasn't lucky. That was like true. Do you get into those numbers as well now with knowing all this stuff?
Not really. I haven't really looked at it. I know, I've seen some numbers about like FIP and stuff, which I really kind of just learning too. And, I've seen some stuff where I kind of had a lucky season, I guess, but I don't know what that means. I know I got outs, and I know I went deep into games. So I feel like that's really all you kind of need. If you get outs and you go, 6+ innings, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, you also said that when you got traded, it was kind of go mode because you went from the Mariners to the Blue Jays. Your numbers dropped. Your ERA dropped like a full, I think, ERA 4 to 1 point something, I believe, halfway through the season. Is that a mindset change, or is that actually a repertoire change, or what do you credit to that, the second half, and maybe it's just first half or second half? Is there anything that you go to?
No, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't really have – so I went from a 6-man rotation to a 5-man rotation. So, having that extra day to work on stuff was nice, but just going to 5-man, I was like, okay, now when I do my bullpens in between, it's got to be like main focus, what I need to work on, light 20 pitches instead of 35, 40, you know? And then just going out there and just attacking and getting outs instead of like, hey, I want to throw my slider 15 times and my curveball 12 times, you know, this game when I was with the Mariners. And now it's like, okay, hey, we're fighting for a playoff spot with the Blue Jays. Whatever's working that day and it's working good, use it.
So it's kind of like bullpen sessions a little bit in Seattle where you're just like, let me just figure all this stuff out. Shortened season, first time back in a while. That's pretty cool. That's cool that you were able to do both within one season.
Yeah, it was nice. It definitely was nice.
I went and looked at your debut. I found your first guy you ever struck out. I'm sure you remember. Do you know who your first strikeout victim was?
Jason Castro.
Yeah, and then you just fuck him up every time you face him now. Like, is that just because when he steps into the box, you're like, I struck this dude out in my first game? I mean, listen to the stats. 14 at-bats, 9 strikeouts, 0 walks, 1 hit.
Yeah, I mean.
You just kill that dude.
I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe because I know, like, hey, this is my first strikeout. I think the 1 hit was either a double or a home run, though.
No, it was a single.
Was it?
No extra base hits.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I every time I see him, I'm like, he's in the line. I'm like, okay, I feel good about it.
Yeah, it's that mindset. Like, oh, got this dude. Damn.
It's funny.
A lot of pitchers felt that way when I stepped in the box. Yeah. A lot of them. Yeah.
I faced you a couple times.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, do we have the numbers up?
Do we have the history?
BBD, bring
you
it up.
are someone I wouldn't like to face. You're tall. I don't like tall pitchers, man. And whatever it is, the angle, but I don't, in my mind, I know I don't have a lot of success against you because if I did, I would remember. You know how it goes, man. You remember the guys that you do well against.
I don't think you guys ever faced each other in MLB. Do you have it?
I think we did spring training.
Probably spring training.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you're.
You had him, Trev. You had him.
No. Ty got him. Ty, I was looking at some of the guys you pitch well or don't pitch well against. You got to get away from Mike Trout. I mean, that should be priority number 1 in this free agency.
Everybody does, dude.
Everybody does.
You know what's crazy? I feel like the numbers. I don't know. I feel like every time I face him, for some reason, I'm like, okay, you know, ground ball to the right side or jam shot. But then it's like, 6 home runs and this and this. I'm like, damn, really? It doesn't feel that way.
Dude, hey, Ty, I say this about Mike Trout. I'm like, I know he's the best player in the game. Like, I know he is. But playing against him, I'm like, there's other guys who I think, like, impress me more. But he just, like, is always good. Like, his numbers just add up and add up and add up and add up. And before you know it, he's got 30 homers. 30 steals, 100 RBS. And you're like, I don't get it, but he just never slumps, dude. That's what it is. He just
because every time I face him, like, I'll throw a good pitch, he'll look at me, he'll smirk, get a little smile. I'm like, yeah, I got him, and then boom, come on. I'm like, it's that easy for you, huh? You just laugh it off.
It's crazy.
His numbers up in Seattle are incredible too. It's like his best split whenever he's at Safeco or whatever it's called now.
You guys did a thing about him and Felix, right? Like, he owns Felix.
He owns everyone who pitched in Seattle.
Yeah,
he owns Seattle.
It's crazy.
I've kind of got a broad one for you, Ty, and it's because I've been familiar with you for a while. I've got a baseball geek side, so I remember prospect Taijuan. I mean, you were what, like top 5 prospect and things like that. You come up for the Mariners when you're what, 20?
21, I think. Yeah.
So I mean, now like you've been in the pros for what, 7 years, 8 years? Is it? Like, looking back, I mean, do you look at 20-year-old or 21-year-old Taijuan Walker and laugh? I mean, do you have these different moments of growth? Like, looking back now, I don't know. I wonder what it's like looking back at, 8 years as a pro and you're kind of hitting free agency. You had a really nice year last year. Like, you still got a lot to go.
Yeah. Man, when I was younger, just coming up, I think I was just so raw and just kind of used my athletic ability, like, honestly, the first 3 or 4 years I was up, it was just like all fastballs. I think it was like 70% fastballs, do a split change, and then, dab with a cutter and a curveball. But it was just, I didn't really know pitching. I was just out there and just kind of just pitching, just throwing the ball as hard as I could and, trying to get outs, basically.
When you think back on your rookie season, is there a teammate that was in the rotation that kind of took you under his wings, or is there any guy that should get credit for how building relationship or giving you advice or anything that you'd want to shout out and be like, nah, that dude was awesome?
Honestly, I think it's just a little bit of everyone. You know, obviously Felix. But the thing with Felix, he's one of those guys where he could just wake up out of bed and he'll be great. So it was like more of watching him than talking to him about pitching. Me and James Paxton are really close. You know, we used to talk a lot. Chris Young, pitcher, tall Chris Young. Watching him, you know, especially I think it was 22 or 23 when he was there, and just watching prepare for starts. I mean, he'd have 3 iPads out, a laptop, all these notes, and every pitch he threw was like planned. You know, he'll throw a change up at the letters on purpose. People don't do that, you know. So just watching him, and then I got to watch Zach Greinke, watch him pitch and talk to him. He's really smart and he knows a lot about pitching, so that was nice. Ryu this year, you know, so I just kind of take a little bit of stuff from everyone, you know.
Has Chris Young been calling you now? Like, hey, I got a nice gig over here in Texas.
Oh yeah,
you interested?
Hey,
because the manager Woody, he was there too. He was a third base coach, and we had a pretty good relationship too. So
okay,
all right.
Well, the rumors.
So if you sign there, we'll get credit.
Yeah. Taijuan Walker to the Rangers.
Yeah.
Interest in the Rangers. That's how you do it, Trev.
5 for 100. Done. Rangers.
I'm not saying it.
Have you and again, I don't know how close you were, Paxton. I know you're a big basketball guy, and NBA season's coming up, and basketball is all about guys teaming up, and, Harden's trying to get to Brooklyn, and Giannis is supposed to be the next free agent. I mean, do you text Paxton and be like, hey, let's go somewhere. Let's put on the pinstripes, let's get a ring, and we'll go from there. Like, I don't know, seems easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not MLB. I don't know why. Maybe just because the roster's so big, 25 guys, I don't know. NBA just, if you have 2 players, I don't know. I heard this somewhere. I was watching TV or something, but 2 guys can change a whole franchise. But for MLB, I mean, honestly, look at Mike Trout, best player in the game.
Look at the Angels.
And they have really good pieces, but you still need everyone, all 9, 12, 14, 15 players, whoever, to make it to the World Series and win the World Series. You need a deep core of guys, and you need a whole roster plus some guys coming up and whatnot. NBA, I mean, look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You got those 2 guys, and then you throw in, KCP and
Caruso.
Yeah, it's way different.
Well, if you want to come to the pinstripes with Paxton, that's fine too, because we need some pitching.
I could see you as a Yankee. I could see you as
a Yankee. It would look good,
sure.
Man. That big body, the pinstripes. Yeah.
Be me, Dan, Judge, big guys over there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
a
big crew right there.
That's a photo shoot. That's like, yeah, man. We could. Okay.
Tall Californians. Stanton.
Hold on. You guys are making your pitch. Let me make my pitch. Minnesota would love to have you. They need some starting pitching. They're a good team. It's a great place to play and live. I'm going to make some calls. City's amazing, dude. I'm going to make some calls. We'll get you. We also have pinstripes.
It's cold, though. Isn't it cold there?
It's cold.
It is cold. It is cold. Don't go there. Don't go there.
It's a bad pitch.
They built a brand new stadium, which is absolutely beautiful, but they should have had a retractable roof or something, like you're in the Midwest.
What they told us, they said that if they couldn't put a roof on, like to get the stadium built, they had to do it without a roof because of maybe the expense or whatever it was. I don't really buy that. Come on. How do you not have a retractable roof there? I totally agree with you.
Any team who builds a new stadium from here on out needs to have a retractable roof. No matter what. I don't care if you're San Diego, California, just have it just in case.
I agree, dude. I totally agree.
Imagine
in Seattle,
no rainouts. That'd be nice.
The roof doesn't work. I feel like it still leaks water when it rains, and it's freezing there.
They keep the backside open. So when it's raining,
I don't get it, dude.
People are sitting back there, they get all wet.
No, it's crazy, dude. Seattle is cold, man. You talk about cold. It's like Cleveland gets really cold. Obviously Minnesota, but Seattle's one of those places where it's like, damn, even when it's warm, you feel cold there. It's like a strange vibe.
Well, Oakland's freezing too at night.
Yes.
You wouldn't expect it. And partly why Oakland's so cold is because no one dresses for it appropriately because they don't think it's going to be freezing.
Right. It's hot all day, and then all of a sudden at night, it's okay, what's this?
This is a weather podcast now.
Weather pod.
I searched your name and news, and I wanted to see how many teams are claiming you'd be a perfect fit, or they're claiming they have interest in you. So you don't need to say yes or no to any of these, but if it's like a hard no, you can. Feel free. We got the Yankees obviously saying, hey, be a nice fit.
Done.
We got the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, why the Red Sox need Walker. We got the Tigers are very interested in signing Taijuan Walker.
Detroit.
We got why Taijuan Walker's a perfect fit in Milwaukee. And who's this? I don't know. There's another team here.
Mariners.
Every team. You're a fit for every team, dude.
Everyone needs
You're
to
6'5", good starting pitcher, bro.
Where's
Every team has interest.
how's the process work for your of free agency? And you don't have to give away anything you don't want to, but right now, are you just fielding interest? Do they just reach out to your agent? Your agent says just feelers, and then at what point do you like to actively engage and say like, let me get on the phone call with the GM or whoever it is that you're talking to? So like, how does it work, and what stage are you at now?
I think it's just a lot of phone calls right now. Just a bunch of feelers, checking in, see what's going on. And I think once the market gets going, once the starting pitching market gets going, then that's when things kind of just ramp up. Again, this year's it's just new. Last year was way different. This year's just kind of new. I think it's just being patient, just waiting. Not trying to rush into anything, and just waiting for the right offer and the right team, I guess.
Now, last year, did you have the Mariners in mind going back there before they reached out? And when you went there, were there other teams that maybe were in the mix for, similar offers, and you chose the Mariners for what you said to kind of bounce back, no stress?
Familiar.
Yeah, we had a few teams that were in on me, but all the offers were about the same. So at the end of the day, too, I was like, you know what? I want to build myself back up again. I want to work on some things, and I've already pitched in Seattle, pitched in Safeco, T-Mobile Park, whatever, pitched, West Coast. And so that's like the ultimate reason why I went there. And I've always been a West Coast guy myself. So I'm like, I don't want to go to the East Coast. Didn't want to at all. Everything West Coast. And then I got traded to Toronto, and I was like, man, the East Coast isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's not, because I've been in West Coast my whole life, and I'm like, you know what? I can actually see myself on the East Coast.
Hey, man, and you were in Buffalo. I mean, that's really not like the biggest selling point for the East. If someone's like, hey, I need to be proven that the East Coast is nice, I don't think Buffalo would land in like the top 50 places to go sell ourselves.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I was sold enough playing in Buffalo, so it wasn't bad. I could imagine, if it was, New York or wherever else, Toronto.
Buffalo might have been better through all the COVID stuff than New York City last year. I remember some of the Yankees players, like their schedule and where they had to live and stuff, it was like a nightmare.
Buffalo was quiet. Not a lot of people. Walked to the hotel, to the room, to the field and stuff.
Who are the characters on the Blue Jays team? Like, you walk in there, who's the prankster? What's like the crew? You're like, okay, those guys are goofing off. What's the scene in there?
Man, kind of everyone, but the number one guy was probably Ken Giles.
Okay.
Yeah, funny guy. Tanner Roark, Shoemaker. I feel like all the position players were super young guys, quiet, first, second year, and then all the pitchers were like just old, grumpy dudes. Going out there, don't care. I got 8-9 years in. Just F it, have fun.
That's funny. The old man pitcher crew. I like that.
It was nice because I went from Seattle when everyone was 23 years old, and I was the oldest guy. I think I had the second most time on the team behind Seager, and so I was like the veteran, And then I went over there. I was like, oh, there's guys with the same amount of time as me, same age as me.
Man, you went to high school with Matt Davidson, who's also a pro. Now, I was looking at his numbers, and he's got you beat on ERA. 6 games, 2.84 ERA. Does he ever rub that in your face?
Nah, he was a good pitcher. He was a good pitcher, man. He just threw all fastballs and just dotted the corners. Boom, 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 boom.
So he was a senior and you were a year younger than him?
Yeah.
So did you kind of get to feel out the whole scouting process and drafting process in high school through him before you went through it yourself?
Yeah, not the drafting part of it, but like the scouting part. And I think he's part of the reason why I got looked at because I was shortstop. I pitched here and there my sophomore and junior year, but I just played shortstop mostly. And then I started pitching full time my senior year. But I think, just having the scouts there when I did pitch, that maybe kind of put myself on their radar or whatever.
Did the scouts push you to kind of get on the mound more, or was it just like when your senior year's coming up, you'll be pitching more?
I think it was more, my coach, pitching coach,
Okay.
manager, and he was just like, we really think you're gonna get drafted as a pitcher. And I was like, no, I'm a shortstop. I'm an athlete. I'm not pitching. I do that. And then out of nowhere, I just started throwing like mid-90s, and I was like, dang it, like, maybe I have to do this.
Maybe I will pitch.
And that's how more and more scouts come. And they're like, oh, the first round. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll be a pitcher.
I'll pitch for that. Were you guys gross? Back-to-back first-round picks?
We had a really good team. Where I grew up, Ukiah, we're known for baseball. A lot of CIF titles and stuff like that. So,
man, you've gone deep. Who'd you clip for a homer?
Mike Fultonetwich.
Fulte. Wow.
Okay.
Fastball, 97 miles per hour. Close my eyes. Put a good swing on it. It's nice.
Man, that crosses something off the bucket list right there, especially now that you probably won't be able to get in at bat again.
First game back, too, after I had my first son. So.
Wow.
Okay.
It's cool.
Were you able to get the ball?
I got the ball, got the bat, got the helmet, got it all.
That's awesome.
Did you pimp it at all?
Not for Fulte.
I blacked out. I hit it. I know I hit it good, but I was like just out the box, boom, boom. And I look up and I was like, dang, okay. And then like the slow jog was so awkward. I was like running like this, hands right here. Look good. And I watch the video every time like, it's so bad.
That's not good.
Hey, man, you got it, though. That's pretty awesome.
Did you ever interact with Fulte after that and give him like a thanks, bro? Or how's that go down between pitchers?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've given up 1 or 2 hits to a pitcher. That was like my number one goal. Don't ever give up a home run to a pitcher. Like when I faced Bumgarner and I was like, man, this dude, he hacks. I'm like, I'd rather walk him, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got a pretty big book already, so you wouldn't be like the only pitcher he's gotten.
Yeah,
he's gotten like Kershaw.
You still don't want to be in the book.
You still don't want to be there. I get it.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of people.
When you played the Yankees this year, there was a moment that I remember being like, what the hell was that? And then afterwards, it turns out you guys might be boys. So Aaron Hicks, are you guys buddies? Because you walked him. And, I mean, Hicksy is always flipping his bat on a walk and peacocking the walk more than you normally do. But I remember he just stared at you, and I was like, is that anger or is this friendship? And then people said it was friendship. You guys boys?
Yeah, we're boys. Yeah, he lives right down the street from me. But we golf and stuff and hang out all the time. And, and then I hit him, too. And I, like, text him, like, dude, why didn't you get out of the way? He goes, I don't know. He was in. And I was like, it wasn't that in. And I looked at it. I was like, it was pretty in. But I'm like, get out of the way, man. Like, and it got him good, though. He goes, he told me I owe him a steak dinner, so I got to take him and get some steak.
Man, you guys golf together? He's supposed to be like a scratch golfer, right?
He's legit. Yeah, he's really good. It's easy for him.
I hate that.
Is he a righty or lefty golfing?
Righty.
If you switch it, can you switch golf, do you think?
I mean, I think he can.
He can.
That's such bullshit if he's like stuck behind a tree and he just goes like brings out his one like
got one.
Yeah.
A 7-iron lefty glove for whatever he needs it.
That's actually an awesome flex. I wonder if like there's guys that do that. It has to be. I would think. Tiger just uses the club backwards when he does it.
Yeah, you could do that. That's not in my bag of tricks. Yeah.
Just use your foot.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, we lost Trev, which is for the better. I think that helped everything.
He's going to check on a
Can we rule out one team? Give me one. Say like you're not going to Coors. Like
No,
who's the team you're not going to?
Don't go to Coors. Don't go to Colorado.
I mean, I don't want to rule out anyone.
Yeah, it's all bargaining, man. Let's just say Coors is in on him.
Okay,
Then
the
everyone
Rockies
has-
are in. We'll
Rockies
start
are
a
in.
rumor.
I think I have good numbers at Coors Field, though.
Ooh.
Really?
I think so. I think every time I pitched, I think I pitched pretty decent. I think the most runs I get up there was 3, I think, in one game. I think. I could be wrong.
That's pretty impressive. We were always impressed. Lance Lynn has really good numbers at Coors because fastball pitchers do well.
Pump Peters.
There's not a lot of.
I'm a fastball pitcher for the most part, yeah. So
Let's see if I can bring it up.
Well, he looks that up. Does your agency, who we're friendly with, so I don't want to dig myself a hole at all, but like, is there a pitch process? Like you hear a lot of some of the big names, like Boris is putting binders together and things like that. Like, I don't know, for a team like Colorado, say, they send over the Ty Walker package, and it's like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's pitched pretty nasty at Coors. Has there been any of that? Any selling?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I talked to my agent, get calls. He said this. We don't really get into like deep details yet. I think once things start picking up, then that's when we kind of get into details and look at. Okay, so you pitch there. This is who they face. This is who they got coming up. This and that. So, but right now it's just hey, they call, they're interested, they like you, kind of stuff.
Man, you crush it, Coors. 4 games started, 2.63 ERA, 24 strikeouts in 24 innings pitched. Maybe think about it. You could go reinvent the game.
Good. Just all fastballs.
What's the secret? Is it pumping heaters? Do you like the mound there? Like anything?
I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't even know my numbers were good until I think last year my agent mentioned to me, he goes, you actually pitched pretty well, because they were a team that were interested in me. And I was like, really? Cool. I pitched well at Coors, but obviously trying to set myself up for, this year, I was like, I don't know if I want to go there, pitch, 15 games there.
So,
Is there like a stipulation that you do know of, like a day versus night, or like a getaway day, or like a Sunday? Is there some weird, almost superstitious, you're like, I'm going to pitch good tonight because of this? It's like not a baseball factor, just kind of a random thing.
Man, I feel like usually when I eat Subway, I pitch pretty well.
ooh,
I mean, there you go.
ad.
CAA or XL.
Like the days I don't like. I pitch okay. I don't pitch like my best, but when I eat Subway, I'm all out.
What are you getting at
So
Subway,
put that in
man?
the contract.
We
I
gotta
need a
get
Subway
you
sandwich before every game.
I know.
the Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Do we? Okay.
What's the Subway order?
Spicy Italian, pickles, spinach, yellow mustard. That's it.
I mean, not to be the greasy-haired East Coast Italian, but have you been to like sub shops that aren't Subway on the East Coast? Because I mean, we could change everything. If Subway is your multiplier, we got places in New York that are you'll be pumping 99 easy.
I mean, if that's the case, I'll try it out.
Okay.
I'm open to that, yeah.
Yanks, make it part of your pitch.
Cashman, know
How
you're
funny
listening.
would it be if someone did offer you Subway before every game, and then you're like, they must have listened to that podcast I did.
Or Subway can call me and we can get a deal done too. That works.
Yeah. I mean, you got to make a deal now. We were doing this with Taylor Hearn of the Rangers. You got to have some promotion with Subway. Every time that, you strike out the side, it's a free six
strikeouts, free foot long. Bang.
Yeah.
Done.
Nice. Easy. I'll have to write that one down.
Yeah.
Marketing team.
I think Trev's trying to come back.
Before
but he also
Trevor
said,
comes back, do you want to ask Trevor any questions that we can answer? And hopefully he can hear this, but he can't talk. But we will answer any question you want on behalf of Trevor Plouffe. Could be anything.
Nah, I don't got nothing.
I got nothing for him either.
Nothing. Yeah. Not a lot of interest there. Well, hey, man, thanks for joining us. Oh, Trev, you're back.
He's kind of back.
Halfway back.
Delayed.
You sound like you're underwater. And all right, see ya. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Ty.
Yeah, hey, Ty, thanks for hanging out with us
thanks.
for a little bit. We're interested to see where you land.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not an AL East team that isn't the Yankees. I don't want to deal with that.
Keep that in mind.
All right, appreciate you. Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Baseball.
And there you have it. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you want to leave a review or comment or subscribe or like or any of that stuff, feel free. It helps us as much as it hurts me to ask for it.
Yeah, do it. I have no shame in that right now. Like, I'm not a good promoter on Twitter, but I'm gonna say right now, go like us and leave a review and say how good that I am specifically.
Just Trevor.
You guys are sluts.
I'll put it out there.
He's putting it out there.
I'll put it out
People
there.
are asking for JOMBOY and Jake radio, but then also Trevor and Big Baby David radio.
Yeah.
It's
maybe
common
that's a new
sense
thing.
with Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah.
And
People have
BBD.
been campaigning for you and I to do a president vice president thing, Trev. I saw
also-
a tweet for that.
Foolish Baseball's mom
Yeah.
wants me and him to get together. So.
Mrs. Foolish is her birth name.
Hot.
I hate her.
Yeah, it's just
I hate her.
mean to us for no reason. All right. See you guys later.
She was.